Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie if you're new here, and in today's video I'm going to be picking my March TBR. Of course, I'm going to be using my new TBR jar. I have about 40 numbers in here and they all correlate to a prompt, just so I can change these up every month. I did add new ones in there. I took out some of the old ones unless they could be used in a different way, and I think I'm going to pick 8 books today. So let's get into it. Prompt number 1 is number 1. The book that has been on your physical TBR the longest. Okay, let me think. Okay, so I have 2 options to choose from, and I know these are the oldest because I have moved quite a few times since starting up my YouTube channel again, and I remember buying these when we lived in our house in Atlanta, our first apartment in Atlanta, and that was forever ago. So we have Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. This is Christian fiction, and I remember wanting to buy this because the new movie adaptation for this book was coming out and it looked really good, but I wanted to read the book first. Did I watch the movie or read the book? No. What's funny is I actually think I bought these 2 books on the same Barnes & Noble trip. We also have The Defining Decade, Why Your 20s Matter and How to Make the Most of Them Now. My defining decade is about to be over. I mean, not really. I'm turning 28 in less than 2 months. My decade's about to be defined, so this would be a good option as well. And you see, this is what happens when you go to the bookstore and you tell yourself you're going to branch out, because these are both kind of different for me. I didn't read a ton of nonfiction at the time, and I have never read anything by Francine Rivers, and they never got picked up. Okay, when I picked these 2 up, I was thinking The Defining Decade because this book, Redeeming Love, looks really long, but the text is kind of big, so that's not as intimidating as I thought it would be. But I do need to read this, like, come on girl. I think I'm going, no, actually, I'm going to do Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. The summary says, California's gold country, 1850, a time when men sold their souls for a bag of gold and women sold their bodies for a place to sleep. Angel expects nothing from men but betrayal. Sold into prostitution as a child, she survives by keeping her hatred alive. And what she hates most are the men who use her, leaving her empty and dead inside. Then she meets Michael Hosea, a man who seeks his father's heart in everything. Michael obeys God's call to marry Angel and to love her unconditionally. Slowly, day by day, he defies Angel's every bitter expectation until, despite her resistance, her frozen heart begins to thaw. But with her unexpected softening come overwhelming feelings of unworthiness and fear, and so Angel runs back to the darkness, away from her husband's pursuing love, terrified of the truth she no longer can deny. Her final healing must come from the one who loves her even more than Michael does, the one who will never let her go. That sounds good. And then I can finally watch the movie. Prompt number 2. This one says Kindle Unlimited. Okay, I have a ton of Kindle Unlimited books downloaded already because I'm a crazy person. And here are some I'm thinking of choosing. I could do Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto because I loved Forget Me Not by her. I have Torment by Dylan Page. This is a duet and I first heard about it from Larissa here on booktube. I really want to do that one, but I know I have other prompts that could apply to that one. Oh, this I haven't downloaded, but it just came to me. Haunted Love is on Kindle Unlimited. It's like a dark romance. I saw someone posted about it on Goodreads the other day and it sounds interesting to me. But I think I'm going to do Torment by Dylan Page. This is a dark romance. Oh wait, this is not a duet, it's a series? It says there are 5 books in the Bleeding Heart series. I could have sworn it was a duet. Who knows? Not me. When Dylan was younger, she always had an aspiration to tell stories. Before she even knew to write, she would draw them out. Her mother always encouraged her and bought her piles of blank notebooks for her to draw out the stories she imagined in her head. Her dad encouraged her to use her words instead. Over the years, he pushed her into writing clubs and bought her notebooks so she could fill them with endless short stories. When Dylan isn't busy writing or spending time with her 2 boys, she likes... Be so for real right now, Maddie. That is the author description. That was the author's summary, not the book summary. I was gonna say, wait. I just finished filming my 24-hour readathon, so if I'm not there, that's why. Come on, about this book. Where is it? I don't know. Basically, it sounds like it's a dark romance. That's what you guys are getting. A stepbrother romance? Maybe? But Larissa really loved it and it's one of her favorite series of all time now. Prompt 3. a short and sweet romance. Okay, I did pick this prompt last month, and guess what? I didn't read that book I picked, but that book is still calling to me, so I'm going to pick the same exact book. Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. Carly has another book coming out this summer, and I really want to read this one before her newest release. This is the most criticized of her work, but I still want to give it a chance because I really enjoyed Every Summer After, and I thought This Summer Will Be Different was still a good read for me. So Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune is book number 3. Prompt 4, a book that speaks to you. Okay, for this one I'm going to cheat a little bit because I technically already started this book, but that is Shark Heart, and I actually picked this up during my 24-hour readathon, which will be out soon, the blog of it, and I read the first 50 pages and I actually loved the writing and I love the story. I think it's so unique, but I didn't finish reading it during the readathon because I was out of it from not sleeping, and I really wanted to read this when I was mentally there because I think I'm going to give this book 5 stars just based on the first few chapters. I really love it. It is essentially about Ren and Lewis, and during their first year of marriage, Ren finds out that he is turning into a great white shark. Yeah, I love fiction. That's so fun. Come on, I know you guys are intrigued. So I'm going to finish this one and I actually can't wait. I have 4 more. My camera's gonna die, sweet. 27, a book you've had more than a year. Okay, I was actually having trouble picking a book for this because I bought a lot of books since we moved here to Amsterdam, and we moved here almost a year ago. In April it will be a year, so a lot of these books are not a year old, and the ones that are really old I don't want to read. But I forgot that I could just pick the other option I had considered for my first prompt, and I'm going to do that. So I'm going to give The Defining Decade a chance. So let's find out what I'm doing wrong in my 20s. Killing the physical TBR game. Now I just actually have to read them. That's always the challenge. So 3 more prompts. Number 24, a book you see someone else reading on Goodreads right now. Ooh, The Book of Azrael. And I think that's on Kindle Unlimited, but it's a series. And I don't want to buy a book for this, so it has to be something I already have or something on Kindle Unlimited. Okay, Katie Whitrock just finished On a Quiet Street. That is speaking to me, but I don't think that's on Kindle Unlimited. Let's see. Not to be a pick-me, but I have read a lot of these that are on my Goodreads feed just because I'm insane. Oh, On a Quiet Street's on Kindle Unlimited. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to read On a Quiet Street by Serafina Nova Glass. And apparently this one has a crazy plot twist. It's a thriller. I love a thriller. I probably read more thrillers than anything else just because they're so fast-paced and I finish them in a day. I have to know what happens. The summary says, the perfect neighborhood can be the perfect place to hide. Who wouldn't love to live in Brighton Hills? This exclusive community on the Oregon coast is the perfect mix of luxury and natural beauty. Stunning houses nestle beneath mighty Douglas firs, and lush backyards roll down to the lakefront. Okay, I like the setting already. It's the kind of place where neighbors look out for one another, sometimes a little too closely. Cora thinks her husband Finn is cheating. She just needs to catch him in the act. That's where Paige comes in. Paige lost her son to a hit and run last year, and she's drowning in the kind of grief that makes people do reckless things, like spying on the locals. I gotta take a breath. Searching for proof that her son's death was no accident, and agreeing to Cora's plan to reveal what kind of man Finn really is. Was that not the longest sentence in the world? Camera just died, sorry. All the while, the reclusive neighbor Georgia is acting stranger every day. But what could such a lovely young mother possibly be hiding? Yay. Yay. I'm so excited to read that. 2 more prompts. Hopefully my math is mathing. A book you saw someone talk about on TikTok. So literally every book ever. I'm gonna twist this a little bit because this is definitely not the most recent book I've seen people talk about on TikTok. The most recent book I remember adding to my TBR is Graves. I saw someone do a 24-hour reading vlog and they loved this book. But since I already have a dark romance on here, I'm gonna switch it up. And I'm going to pick First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. This is a rom-com and I have it out from the Libby app right now. So I want to read it. And I've definitely seen people talking about it on TikTok. For a while there, I only saw super positive reviews, but lately I've seen other critiques as well. So I'm excited to read it and find out for myself. The summary kind of reminds me of The X Talk by Rachel and Solomon, and I remember really liking that book. I don't feel like reading the summary for it, but people have been comparing it to Sleepless in Seattle as well. That doesn't mean anything to me because I haven't seen that. Sorry. And this is my first BK Borson book, so yay! One more prompt! Number 7. I don't feel like doing that. It was fantasy. Number 9. Sam picks. Well, Sam is in another time zone, 8 hours behind, so he is not awake right now. However, we were just talking about this the other day, so I know what he would pick for me. And I think I actually have screenshots. So here's what he would pick for me, even though I didn't ask him in this moment. Sam is my husband, if you're new here. He would pick The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. And this is his copy. We think it's first edition because we found it at a used bookstore, but we're not exactly sure. He also has it on his Kindle, so maybe I'll just read it on his Kindle because I don't want to mess this up. But I think I read this when I was younger. I don't exactly remember, but I definitely want to read it because he wants me to, and it's a quick read. So we're adding a classic to the list. Here are the 5 physical books I'm going to read and knock off of my never-ending TBR. Redeeming Love, Meet Me at the Lake, Shark Heart, The Defining Decade, The Old Man and the Sea, and then the 2 books I am going to read from Kindle Unlimited are Torment and On a Quiet Street. And the last book I have out from the library is First Time Caller. So follow my Goodreads down below and my TikTok, and you guys can keep up with my thoughts on these books. That's all we have, guys. Those are the 8 books I'm going to challenge myself to read in March. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I would so appreciate that. And subscribe down below. I am getting so close to 1,000 subscribers, and I really want to do that before my birthday in April. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.